So Mark with Salty Dogs, thought I'd do a little video of the RS2 again to show the one major modification I did to on my install, right? So from the factory they tell you to go ahead and set this thing, the resaw that is, on the second bed. So obviously this is, in my apparatus here, this is the first bed, and then there would be, my other beds are around the corner. I disassembled the thing. So if there's a second bed that goes out that way, right? And then you see these holes are where the lock pins, where you use. So traditionally the resaw would be sitting here, right? And then it uses these little square pegs that it rests against, as I've got it installed, right? So originally the resaw would be right over here at the edge of the first bed, overlap to the second bed. Well, what happens is you kind of lose both beds, in the sense that the section behind the resaw is of no use. In fact, it's a trip hazard, because when you're pulling wood off the resaw back there, you would have to step over that final, or that first rail over there, which was kind of a pain. And secondly, on the second bed you lose the first half of your second bed. So you've got 14 feet of bed to house a 5-foot resaw. So I thought, well, what I'll do is pick the resaw up and set it on the first bed. And then I just kind of mocked everything up just to see if I could do it. So I said, all right, the pegs work. There is no real brace on the end, which isn't cool, but I'll go ahead and get some U-bolts for right here and both sides, and just U-bolt it down. So I got the resaw against the pegs, okay, bolted it down, okay, everything looks to be okay. So then I positioned the carriage, the head, in the slot so that the saw had equal space on either sides of both those guides. Easy day, right? The trick now is, where do you drill the 2 holes you need? I'm good on the other side. We're almost to the edge, as you can see. The edge of the saw, or the first bed there. So what I did is I just released the pins, and they were smacking against the bed here. And then when the pins were smacking against the bed, I went ahead and just traced actually you can kind of still see some of the, so I traced around with a Sharpie the pin, and then on both of them made sure I got all the way around the circle. And then what I did is I moved the carriage out of the way, I rolled it back this way, because at the time I had 2 beds on here, so I had some space to just get the carriage out of the way. Took a punch with a hammer and found center and punched it real hard, both of them, and then I drilled some pilot holes, and then stepped up to my nice, I think it was a 5/8 anyway, so I measured it out, and it was like, I think it was 5/8. Drilled it all the way down until my bit said I was at 5/8, and slid the carriage back, snapped the pins, and voila, done deal. So that was a nice little mod that we went ahead and did. So now we don't have no trip hazard back there. You can stand, sit, whatever, right on the back side of the resaw, and it's just housing the first bed. The second bed will house the carriage when you start traditional soldering. But this is how I modified my LT15 with the RS2 resaw. It worked out pretty good. Thanks for viewing.